Reports are stating that the Italian Football Association have requested that Fabio Paratici's 30-month ban should be across the globe and not just in Italy, and legal experts are stating that this is likely. Tottenham Hotspur Football Club have been asked to comment about this situation, and so far they have declined to a number of media outlets. Section F of the Premier League handbook state that a person can be disqualified as a director if they are subject to a suspension or ban, and despite Fabio Paratici's title of sporting director, he is not named among the 5 officers of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club at Companies House. However, he is named in the official Premier League handbook among the club's 7 listed directors. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Tottenham News, where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Let's start with Saturday's results in the Premier League. 6 games took place. Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0, Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Leicester drew 2-2 at home against Brighton. Southampton lost 1-0 against Aston Villa. West Ham beat Everton 2-0 at the London Stadium. And Crystal Palace drew 0-0 against Newcastle. On Sunday, 3 games will take place. Leeds will take on Brentford. Manchester City will take on Wolves. And Arsenal will take on Manchester United. And then, of course, on Monday evening, it is our game, Fulham v Tottenham Hotspur, 8 p.m. kickoff. After Saturday's results, Tottenham Hotspur remain 5th in the Premier League table. We have 33 points from 20 matches. We are now 6 points away from the top 4. Now, the Tottenham Hotspur women were meant to be in action on Sunday afternoon against Leicester. The game has now been postponed. Tottenham Hotspur Football Club put out the following statement on Saturday evening. A home fixture against Leicester City tomorrow, Sunday the 22nd of January at Brisbane Road, has now been postponed due to a frozen pitch. Details for our rescheduled fixture will be announced in due course, and all tickets purchased for the original fixture will remain valid for the rescheduled date. A report has just been published by the Daily Mail, and they are stating that Daniel Levy faces full-scale management crisis at Tottenham, with 30-month ban given to Managing Director Fabio Paratici by the Italian Football Association for his time at Juventus, likely to also apply to the Premier League, while concerns persist over Antonio Conte's future. In this report, it says that Tottenham chairman Daniel Levy looks to have a full-scale management crisis on his hands, with legal experts saying that FIFA are likely to ensure that the 30-month ban handed out by the Italian Football Association to football managing director Fabio Paratici also applies to the Premier League. With manager Antonio Conte increasingly disgruntled, only last week he called on Fabio Paratici to be more accountable for Tottenham's troubles. It is beginning to look as though both Tottenham's Italians will be gone by the summer. Fabio Paratici has just been hit with a 30-month ban by the Italian FA for his time at Juventus, with the club said to have overstated the value of transfer fees to get around financial rules. The club and Fabio Paratici deny that they have said that they will appeal against the bans and the 15-point deduction for Juventus. In this report from the Daily Mail, it then goes on to say the ruling on Friday was an appeal after the initial verdict cleared the club and the individuals involved, and the written reasons haven't yet been published. Juventus is also facing a civil case in Italy and a UEFA investigation over the claims. FIFA have now been asked by the Italian Football Association to ensure Fabio Paratici's ban applies worldwide, and while Tottenham can argue against that and at least ask for the ban to be deferred until the case is heard again, football legal expert and KC Nick DeMarco said that FIFA usually back the federation and apply bans across the globe. DeMarco said it's not automatic and there is a possibility of challenging it at FIFA level, but it is difficult. We challenged the former Leeds owner's 12-month ban from the FA when he went to Italy, but FIFA did not alter it. Later on in the report from the Daily Mail, it says if Spurs are without a director of football and Antonio Conte is on his way out, Spurs will have to start their rebuild once again. One of Fabio Paratici's main selling points when he arrived in 2021 was his relationship with Antonio Conte, but he initially failed to bring him to the club as Jose Mourinho's replacement, settling instead for Nuno Espirito Santo. When that appointment failed, Daniel Levy and Fabio Paratici turned to Antonio Conte last season with early success in making the Champions League. But Spurs take on Fulham on Monday evening after losing 3 of their last 4 league games and are 6 points adrift of the top 4, despite £150 million of investment in the summer. On the same subject, Football.London have stated that they have asked Tottenham Hotspur Football Club for a comment about Fabio Paratici, and they have declined to comment at this stage. They have also stated that Fabio Paratici appeared to be working as normal in his role on Saturday morning at Hotspur Way and was in contact with agents as Spurs tackled the final 10 days of the transfer window. At the moment, his ban is only in effect in Italy, and whether the appeals process ends up suspending that during the course of that process is another thing. Fabio Paratici delegates much of his non-transfer work within Tottenham down to the structure that he has created in the past 12 months, which includes performance director Greta Steenston and head of football strategy Andy Scolding. They both arrived with a remit that includes first team and academy, while former Manchester City academy coach Simon Davies joined as head of coaching methodology to work with academy manager Dean Rastrick. Football.London then go on to say that Fabio Paratici is Antonio Conte's main point of contact with the board, and the duo speak every day, having forged a strong working relationship from their time together at Juventus in the past. The other issue is whether Fabio Paratici now fails the Premier League's owners and directors test. That test outlines requirements that would prohibit an individual from becoming an owner or director of a club, including a ban by a sporting or professional body. Section F of the Premier League's rulebook states more fully that a person can be disqualified as a director if they are subject to a suspension or ban from involvement in the administration of a sport by any ruling body of a sport that is recognised by the International Olympic Committee, UK Sport or Sport England, other of the home country sports council or another national or international sporting association or governing body, whether such suspension or ban is direct or indirect. For example, a direction to persons subject to the jurisdiction of the ruling body that they should not employ, contract with or otherwise engage or refrain the services of an individual. The rules then state that in the event of such a change of circumstances, the Premier League board would have to give written notice to the person that he or she is disqualified, given reasons therefore, and require him or her forthwith to resign as a director. And give written notice to the relevant club that the person is disqualified, given reasons therefore, and in default of the director's resignation. It shall procure that within 28 days of receipt of such notice, the director is removed from his or her office as such. And an interesting point from Football.London, they then go on to say it is worth noting that despite his official club title as a director, Fabio Paratici is not named among the 5 officers of Tottenham Hotspur registered on Companies House, but he is named in the official Premier League handbook among the club's 7 listed directors. Either way, all eyes will be on what happens next at Tottenham. It's a mess. The North London club could have done without this right now. Former Tottenham Hotspur manager Harry Redknapp has been talking on TalkSport all about Antonio Conte and Spurs, and he said it's all doom and gloom at the moment. Talking about the Manchester City game, he said, I looked at the team on paper, it's a strong-looking team. You've got a World Cup winner at centre-half, a goalkeeper who's having a bad time, but is a World Cup winner as well. You've got the best centre-forward around in Harry Kane. You've got Rodrigo Bentancur back, and it looked a good team. At half-time, they were 2-0 up. I thought the worst thing that can happen is that we can get a point here. I couldn't see Manchester City getting more than 2 goals. Redknapp then went on to say, after the game, you listen to Antonio Conte and it's all doom and gloom. I don't know where you go, really. I don't know how long it's going to last here, to be honest with you. My thoughts on these stories in this episode. I tell you what, I'm very, very disappointed with no communication from the club whatsoever. Especially to do with this situation. Of course, it is public knowledge Lots of information came out of Italy on Friday evening. I expected some kind of short statement from Spurs on Saturday. I'm recording this late Saturday evening. There has been nothing so far. At the moment, all of us fans and indeed the media, because, they've been asked for, Spurs have been asked to comment by the media, and Spurs have so far refused to comment on this situation. But we don't know. We're in the dark. We have no idea whether Fabio Paratici is going to try to continue in his job. We have no idea whether the club still want to work with him. We have no transfers. We're 9-10 days away from the transfer deadline day. We don't know whether our manager is staying beyond the 30th of June. There are so many questions that need to be answered, and quick. The trust have chased up the club and said, look, we want to know the answers to the questions that we have submitted. We want to know about our direction. We want to know about our ambition on the pitch. Those questions haven't been answered, and the club said that they will be answered in February. I don't think this is good enough from Tottenham Hotspur. I think that Spurs do need to communicate. They do need to let people know exactly, what's going on and where we all stand as fans. All of us absolutely love the club. All of us want the best for the club, and we now want to drive forward. We want to win trophies. We want to be successful. And, it just seems to be problem after problem after problem. And, there are some Spurs fans who I know, they're absolutely drained of it. I'm drained of it, if I'm completely honest. But, I try to be as positive as I can be, but I'm struggling right now to be positive about the situations. Me personally, I can't see how Fabio Paratici can continue in his job at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. And what I'm worried about right now is Antonio Conte is our manager now. Will he be beyond the 30th of June? I'm not so sure. I'd love him to be, but I'm not so sure. He has a great relationship with Fabio, Antonio Conte. But we need transfers. We need to help our world-class manager out. We need to help him out in this January transfer window, get some signings in. And let's face it, every team around us at the moment is bringing in decent signings, walking into their starting 11, and not just being a squad player, they're walking into their starting 11. So every team around us is improving. We've lost our last couple of games, and at the moment, we have no communication from the club. We have no signings, and we are very uncertain about our managing director, Fabio Paratici, whether he's going to continue in his job. And of course, there is the uncertainty about Antonio Conte as well. So please, Tottenham Hotspur, answer the questions as soon as possible. Get some press releases together and let people know where they stand. And please spend some money. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, come on you Spurs.